Willie D Live.
What's up, family? We got a father who pulled up on the stepfather to his son at a barbershop. The son is in the seat getting a cut. Dad pulls up and he mad, man. I mean, he is mad. He don't like the fact that the stepdad took his son to get a haircut. Now, ladies, I know what you're thinking. Well, maybe if he was doing his job, then the stepfather wouldn't have had to do that. See, I think the first thing that we have to do is understand the relationship dynamics between the father, the stepfather, the son, and the mother. Yeah, because I bet you $1 to a donut that the stepfather did not take that boy to get a haircut without the mother's input. In fact, the mother probably told him to take him to get a haircut. Now, there's many layers to this situation, fam. Many layers. But as someone on the outside looking in, just from what I saw, the first thing that has to happen is you gotta have an understanding. Perhaps in the past there's been some tension or control issues, and the stepfather came to the barbershop and saw his son sitting in that seat, and the stepfather standing in his place, and he snapped. He lost it. Now, ladies, I know it's difficult for y'all to understand that, but as a man, I think I can speak for most men at least. That's a personal building. That's a connection. That's a connection thing between a father and a son. Like, that's what we do. That's our time to bond. That's a special time for a father and a son, taking his son to get a haircut. You know, that's a big deal. I used to enjoy that so much. I think I took my son to get a haircut till he was like 17. You know, then he was able to move around on his own, and you know how that go. But yeah, it might have been 18. I can't remember. But in any event, it's some of the best times that we've ever had, because you know, he pull up and he get his hair cut, and we have conversations and stuff in the barbershop and all of that. And that was a lot of connection on the way to the shop and back. It gives us an excuse to find out what's going on with our boy, you know, have conversations, you know, and see what's on his mind, you know. So for the stepfather to take that opportunity away, I can see why dad felt some type of way about it. Now, this is assuming that dad is dad, you know, and he's doing the things that dads do. He's involved in his son's life. He's normally taking him to the barbershop, because it would be a problem if dad ain't took the boy to get a cut in 3 years, and all of a sudden he pop up at the barbershop and see the stepdad, you know, with him, and he got a problem. And now dad, he out of pocket now. Now he's out of pocket. But if that's his thing, that's what he does. The mama knows that. She knows. And I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes these women would do things like that out of spite. Now, if you're not one of those type of women, I'm not talking about you, obviously. But you know, sometimes you had those women that would do things like that out of spite. She knows that's dad's bonding time. She knows that. But she won't stick it to him. You take him to the barbershop. Ladies, I don't think you guys understand how humiliating it is for a man to take his son to a barbershop over and over and over again. Everybody knows that's his son. And then one day, his son shows up with another man. In the back of dad's mind, everybody in his business. He looking at him like, what's going on? You dig? So it's gonna make him feel some type of way. This is why you gotta get an understanding. If you're gonna let stepdad take the son to get a haircut, get an understanding with the dad first. If that has been the dad's role. Traditionally, that's what the dad does. Before you let another man take that boy to that barbershop, you better get an understanding, because things could go awry quickly. Yeah, it could get real bad quickly. The mother was on the phone yelling, because when dude walked into the barbershop and he accosted the stepdad calls the mom, and I could hear her screaming over the phone at the dad. So they got a toxic relationship already. So I wouldn't be surprised if she did initiate that on purpose. In any event, it's not a good look, because the boy is sitting there in his chair and he's watching these guys go back and forth. It's a good thing the stepdad was calm. He was cool, calm, and collected. He was like, man, I'm not finna fight him over this, you know what I'm saying? It's his son, because he eventually grabbed his son, got him out of the chair, and took off. I don't know if the son's hair was finished. Didn't look like he was finished, but he took off with his son. And somebody was like, go get him, don't let him take him. And he was like, man, that's his son, what can I do? Exactly. That's his son. I already know what some of you guys are saying. That's a tough position to be in. It's an extremely tough position to be in, because who knows, the stepdad probably was just thinking he was just being nice to the kid, stepping up, not trying to show off or anything, not trying to take the dad's place or anything. He just thought, hey, the boy need a haircut, let me go get him a haircut. No big deal. But failed to get an understanding. It is imperative. Get an understanding. I love it when I see the dad and the stepdad have an understanding. I've seen these type of relationships before, and they go well when there's an understanding. And I've also seen them go bad. I've seen them when they wasn't good, when there was no understanding, and I've seen people get killed, including in my own family. Both ways. Doing the killing and getting killed. I do my best to avoid situations like that, but let's say I was in that situation. I'll play the role of the dad first, and then I'll give you the stepdad side if it was me. If I'm the dad and I walk into the barbershop and I see some dude, this dude, the stepdad, with my son, woo-woo. First and foremost, I'm gonna be tripping, because I'm a hands-on dad. I'm that. There ain't no question. I take care of mine. I take mine to get his haircut. So if I saw something like that, I'd be hot, but I'll pull dude to the side. Hey, let me holler at you right quick, man. We'll walk outside, maybe we sit in the car, whatever, and we have a conversation. And I'd have to be on that type of level anyway if a dude got access to my son, right? So we'd already be cordial. So I was like, look, man, I don't know why you brought Lil Will up here, but that's what I do. That's our bonding time, That's my time. So I would appreciate it if the next time you just allow me to do that. I don't know what you and Keisha got going on or whatever, but I'm just telling you, man to man, don't do that. We're gonna get our understanding. If I'm the stepdad, I'm like, yo, say, man, Keisha want me to take Lil Will to get a haircut. I want to see if it's cool with you first. You cool with that? No, motherfucker, I wouldn't say all that, but man, I ain't cool with that, man. That's what I do, that's me and his bonding time. So, I appreciate the call, man, but I got this, I'll be over there, tomorrow. What does hair look like? I might even call the Willie and FaceTime. Let me see how bad the cut is, But I keep up with stuff like that, so I would already know. But in any event, I'll let him know, look, I'll be over there today, tomorrow, 3-4 days when I get back in town, whatever it is. Because whatever amount of time that my son have to put off getting his hair cut is small potatoes to keep peace. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.